Morning.
Hello.
Episode 52.
This episode is brought to you by nobody because nobody is willing to sponsor.
Nobody. Update on our asks from last time. No sponsors.
Update,
Still.
guys.
No audio help.
It's
Come on.
so weird.
Tap into your networks, guys.
It's good to be here. And honestly, I'm going to keep doing this even without sponsors.
Absolutely. We can sponsor
audio,
ourselves.
Questionable. I might throw in the towel soon.
I think my mom might be willing to sponsor us. So
I love
if
it.
we really get desperate here.
Rondi Miller.
How about
the
this
best.
weather we're having in the Pacific
I'm
Northwest?
freezing. Can I
It's-
just tell you?
Okay, freezing but beautiful.
Oh, okay. That's what
I was
you wanted
looking on
to
the
say.
bright side of it.
It is 100% agree.
There's been like no clouds,
Yes.
no rain. It's
Yesterday
been very cold.
was stunning. I just this morning as I was getting in my car, the temperature kept dropping. It
Yeah.
was like 35, 34, 33.
Yeah.
Good night.
I went on a run yesterday and it was like 35 degrees and I was like chilled to the core.
Yeah.
I sat in the sauna afterward. And I was
Yeah.
like, that I need this warmth.
Chad cold plunged yesterday.
That's crazy.
And I was like,
How cold was the water?
It was at least 45. Maybe colder.
Does it heat it? Is it heated or is it just the temperature?
No, that's just the
outside temperature?
outside temperature. That's the temperature of the water.
Oh, but it's like temperature controlled water. So it's heated.
We can heat it. He didn't heat it.
Oh. If it's 45, it's probably heated up a little bit. Because
Well,
it's been colder than that outside.
True, but I'm wondering if because it's like contained and it has a cover, keep some sort of. We have to
Science.
keep. Okay, no, you're right. There is some because we have to pump it, and we probably have it set to like a minimum of 45, so
Okay.
it doesn't get frozen.
Because we can't even use our cold plunge right now. Because
Yeah.
we can't leave it overnight because like
Okay.
the pipe will freeze or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
So we haven't been able to use it unfortunately. But
Man.
that's okay. I'm not rushing to use it in the
It's
freezing
not
cold.
at all first world problems that we can't use our cold plunge. You guys, we're so relatable.
So relatable. I finished the book you gave me, Local Woman Missing.
What did you think?
I thought it was great. I did not see the ending
Can
coming at
you
all.
believe it?
Could not believe it.
We can't talk about it because now since another loyal listener who we don't mention very often, Christine King,
Christine,
my mother,
yeah. She reading it?
She is reading it.
Okay.
Yes. So
I'm
we
curious
can't give
where
any
she's at.
spoilers, but
It's very good. I would love to not. Yeah, I'm not going to give a spoiler, but it was definitely a twist.
couldn't you see that being a movie?
100%.
I feel like I read so many books. I'm like, why haven't we made this into a
Yeah,
movie?
I loved it. Have you read other books by that author?
I don't think so, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a few like kind of similar genre books that I've read. Like there's an author, Alice Feeney, I really like. Something Frida. There's another couple in that same kind of style
Okay.
that I'm really into. But
I liked
not
it.
this one. Yeah.
Cool. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Doing great?
Yeah. Aside from this morning, I feel like I can't open my eyes all the way. Like, I don't know if it's the lighting in here. My face is just puffy. It's been a busy weekend. But I actually was driving here today and I was just like, I feel really, really good. Like I feel really content and really excited about life right now.
Awesome.
So
In a good place.
in a good place.
That's great.
Yeah.
I feel the same. I was doing a little journaling this morning. I'm
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of good stuff happening right now. A lot of good stuff. We were just like, we kind of booked our wedding venue this weekend.
Exciting.
Like, we're like, we still need to sign the contract. We like decided and picked our date,
We've landed
and
on what? Okay.
we're getting closer. So
this is really exciting.
yes.
Yeah.
Here's the update. Actually,
Okay.
it's a lot sooner than we thought.
It's tomorrow, guys.
Yeah. It's in November of this year. So
I'm sorry, wait. When's your Iron Man?
October.
Mhm.
So it's a month after. It's like over a month after. I feel good about it.
The challenge is sometimes when you're planning a wedding, you do start making plans a month prior to the wedding event.
What do you mean?
So you're saying your Iron Man's in October,
Yeah.
and you still have a month before the wedding.
Which
But
I was telling Brian yesterday, I'm going to be in the best shape of my life for this wedding, which I'm
you're like
stoked about.
strategic.
Because for the half Ironman, I was like leaner than I've ever been. I felt great
Yeah.
physically after that. So
Okay.
I'm like, that's what I'm excited for.
Okay.
'Cause there's a pool.
Okay.
I'm not going to be showing off my
You're like,
Ironman body.
I don't need to give another 6 months and let things go.
Absolutely not.
All
yeah.
right.
That'll-
Okay. What can I ask? What made the date change and what
Price.
Okay.
Yeah, that was kind of, so I had a call on Friday with the venue, which we've been going back and forth via email for like 2 weeks. And
Yeah.
we're like, he's like, let's just hop on a call.
Okay.
So hopped on a call and we basically ran through kind of all the options we had in
Yeah.
mind. So I think we've talked about it a little bit on a previous episode, but
Yes.
for Palm Springs, obviously, we were looking at February because there was like reasonably priced dates in February.
Okay.
However, the pricing in February, the weather is like the most unreliable in February. Like Palm Springs
Okay.
very rarely gets rain.
Yeah.
But if they do get rain, it's in February.
Okay.
So we didn't really want to risk that. And it's
Yeah.
pretty cold at night. So we're like looking at March or May were kind of our ideal dates.
Okay.
April's when they do Coachella down there, and it's just like nothing's available and
Yeah.
it's crazy expensive.
Yeah.
So we
Okay.
ruled out April. March or May. I hopped on the call with the intent of figuring out a weekend in March or
Yeah.
May. And he's like, I'm going to be honest with you, March is our busiest month of the year. Like that is when everybody wants to get married down here,
Yeah.
October and March. And so he's like, I can't give you any discounts. I can't give you a deal. Like,
Wow.
if you want to do March, you're going to have to, like, it's going to be the most expensive,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay.
And we're looking a little bit into May, but
Yeah.
making it kind of hot. So we weren't sure about that.
Right.
And he's like, I was like, basically, and so I was asking him, like, what about this year? Like, are there any weekends you have available where you could give us a discount?
Yeah.
You could give us a deal because you haven't filled them yet.
Yeah.
And he gave us one in June. I'm like, June is way too soon. We can't
Yeah.
do June. And the other one is in November.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, could maybe make November work.
I mean, it's a great month for the two of you.
Yeah, it's a great month.
You've got a lot going on
and
already.
that was why I didn't want to do it, because we already have a lot going on in November, like for both of our birthdays.
But moving forward, every November is just you do a big thing.
Yeah.
It covers birthdays,
and
anniversary,
everything, all the
it'll
above.
be,
Thanksgiving,
yeah, my birthday.
your birthday.
So.
Your birthday is the 10th. Okay,
Mhm.
so I think we're looking at the weekend before Thanksgiving, which
Okay.
I was again hesitant about because it's around Thanksgiving. But my cousin got married the Monday before Thanksgiving.
It was Monday.
She got married on a Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was also pricing. Like it was just
Sure.
way cheaper on a Monday.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're looking at the weekend before Thanksgiving,
Okay.
and I think we're gonna do it, and it's
That's
exciting. So we're like 10 months away. So yeah, we gotta move a little quicker than we thought we had to.
Countdown begins.
Yeah, so we did we spent time looking at our list, brainstorming activities.
Yeah. So
a lot of stuff.
Is it going to be a venue that includes, like, are they going to cater your event? Like, will you have, like, how much planning do you have to put into now that you've got the place?
A decent amount.
Okay.
So they don't provide the food.
Okay.
So we'll need to figure out, food for the wedding. And
Okay.
I think I've told you, we're doing like a multi-day thing.
Right.
So there'll be activities. We'll probably be planning activities on 3 separate days.
But you'll have an actual, like, wedding day?
Yes.
With, like, a whole ceremony and reception and all that.
Yeah.
Show off your body.
Yes. We'll do shirtless ceremony.
Mm.
I don't know exactly what we still need to like look at what we want the ceremony to look like.
Sure.
I don't think we're doing groomsmen. We kind of want to like throw away all the traditional wedding stuff and just do what we want to do.
Okay.
And we still need to figure out what that looks like.
Well, if you want me to get ordained and marry you, just let me know.
Is that a real offer? Is that a real offer? We have 5 people on our list or I was brainstorming yesterday. 5 potential officiants for the wedding. You're one of the 5.
I'm honored. That is the biggest compliment I've ever received. I would love to. I also think you could consider Chad Erskine only for the sake of the accent.
I know.
Just for crowd pleaser.
Yeah, that would be, yeah. Okay. He wasn't on the short list, but we can add him.
Maybe we tag team it.
That'd be great. I actually love that idea. Hold on, we got something here.
Oh my gosh. Okay. This episode is called Jamie Gets Ordained.
You've heard that my dad's ordained, right?
I think I did know this.
He's done 3 weddings.
And I love that.
He has a 0% success rate.
Don't love that one.
I don't think he'll do any more weddings.
You know what? Let him just be the dad that day.
Yeah. 100%.
Don't put him on that spot.
No pressure.
Okay.
Yeah. So lots of exciting stuff.
Yeah. And I saw you did a little run for starting the Ironman training.
I did. Should we get into our
You want to do it? Let's just jump in.
Okay. Jump in.
I feel like I actually wrote notes this morning. I was like, look at me.
Did you?
Like, because usually I come and I'm just at the seat of my pants.
Willy-nilly.
Like, let's figure this out. I go off of your vibe and I'm like, okay. Today I actually took notes.
What did you do Friday?
Okay, so Friday was a half day for my girls. So we can start a little early.
Wait, why is that? Why don't they have school today?
Because it was the end of the semester. So last week it was finals.
Okay.
So the way that the school does the finals, it's like a morning thing. So midday they're done.
Okay.
So and I don't know, I guess just to make it easy, they have everybody get out half day. So the teachers can wrap up grading, and then today is a teacher work day. So now they're gearing up for the new semester.
Cool.
I personally love it. It's like, you come back from Christmas break and you're like trying to get back in the swing of things. And then we had Martin Luther King Day off. So last Monday, half day this Friday, off today. It's just easing us back into
So just today's off. It's not like a whole week off.
Just today. Back tomorrow.
I do like that. I think 4-day weeks are just great in general.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Like honestly, for everybody. So anyways, Friday, I picked the girls up. Have you had from Met Market their chicken sandwich, their fried chicken sandwich? I would like to make a public service announcement right now that it is one of the best sandwiches for $10 that you can find.
$10.
$10.
That seems reasonable for Met Market.
It's amazing. I'm like, Met Market, if you're looking to sponsor me. I am a big advocate for their hot bar menu.
Yeah.
Met Market's grocery items tend to be very expensive. I don't grocery shop there. But if I'm looking to feed my family on like we're like looking for lunch or quick dinner, the Met Market has such a variety. They have really good sushi. They have a hot bar that has different themes every day of the week.
Okay.
And then some things that they consistently make.
Gotcha.
So our classic is the fried chicken sandwich.
Yum, which is one of my favorites.
And sweet potato fries.
Oof.
Yeah. Highly recommend the curry mayo.
Curry mayo. Oh my gosh. Sweet potato fries with the aioli basically is my go-to.
It was so, my mouth's like actually watering.
That sounds really good.
Anyways, I thought I'd mention that just because it's so yummy.
There's no Met Market even relatively close to where I'm at.
No. I'm kind of surprised.
There's nothing. I'll have to just swing by the Tacoma one.
We'll make it a team event.
Because you know the Tacoma one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's not near you guys at all, is
it? No. So the girls, there is school. It's like kind of a straight shot down and over. Okay. So I went after I picked them up from school. I was like, I'm craving this sandwich. We're going to go. And then
I'll add it to my list. I love a chicken sandwich.
Please do. And report back. They also have a pretty good brisket and prime rib deal. It's like, maybe we edit this out because I don't want people to get there and then it's no longer available. They start raising the prices because of high demand. Never mind. It's awful. No, so Friday we get home, we do that. That evening, Allie was going to a retreat with church. They were going up to church in Sammamish, I think. Sammamish? One of those.
Snohomish?
Sammamish. It was an hour away.
Probably Sammamish.
Okay. And
Snohomish would be farther.
Okay. And so basically what we did, there's a couple girls that came over. We took that group to the church. They left and went to the retreat they left the church around 5:30. And while they were gone, myself and Chad and Pipes went to a different church, very unique, and played trivia. But what was really interesting, they served wine and beer and other alcoholic beverages, and it was a fundraiser for their youth program that's going on a 100K pilgrimage. But it's very different from, it's not like
is it a Christian
different
church?
Denomination. I couldn't tell you.
Okay. They had trivia?
They had a trivia night. So what they did is they charged you, $10 per person for trivia. And then you also could, what was really clever is you could pay for, they called it like a mulligan or a doubler. So basically, if you were not sure about one of your answers, you could pay to say, we're gonna get that one correct no matter what. They gave you stickers that designated. And then if there was one where you felt like you rocked that whole round, you could double your points. Okay. But you'd have to pay for it. I was like, this is a really clever way to fundraise.
They were, fundraiser. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, as a fundraiser. Sadly,
so if you win, you don't get the money, or do you?
Oh, no.
Okay.
But they did play a game. This was another one that was fun. They played a game called 50-50. You take a dollar bill and you either put it near your head or near your tail. Okay. And then somebody flips a coin. And if it lands on heads and your dollar was at your head, you keep playing.
Gotcha.
And if it lands on tails, if you lose, you give your dollar to the pot.
Gotcha.
And then at the end, whoever is the last man standing gets half of the pot. Nice. The other half goes. So that's I was actually second to last on it. Oh, man. I lost it by one. Shoot. I know. Wish I had a different ending to that story. But it was fine. It was actually really fun. And I just was like, I think this is the first time I've had wine in a church building. Yeah. I think
I've had wine. I've been to a church where a communion they did wine. Sure. This was beer is another story.
100%.
That's funny. Yeah. I like it.
So, that was a great night. Picked up Allie and her friends around 10:45 and picked them up, and they were like, we're really hungry. Can we go to McDonald's? I'm like, okay, here we go. So didn't get home till after 11. But just fun. I mean, this is a really fun season to be a girl mom and just hear their experiences in life. And, you know, they go to this church thing, but a lot of it's like, oh, there's cute boys there and they're talking about, you know, so and so. I won't disclose any gossip, but it's just fun to have ears in the car while this is happening.
Yeah.
So that was Friday night for me.
Awesome.
By the time I got
remind
home,
me age. Piper just turned 11.
Piper just turned 10. Allie is 13, but all of her friends are 14. She's a year behind everybody.
Cool. It's like I have no idea how old kids are when they do anything at all.
Sure, that's a real.
I don't know. I don't know how old kids are when they start walking, when they start talking, when they go through puberty. Like I don't know any of the ages for anything. Yeah, I should probably get equipped on that.
I mean,
I guess I'm learning through Easton. Like he's my first nephew, and I'm seeing he's 9. I know what a 9-year-old kind of is like these days. So
right,
but,
what's great is there's a ton of literature, a lot of research out on all these milestones. So, but yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't like go into parenting knowing all of that either. Yeah. So, and I'm still like some of that. I'm like, great question.
And every kid developes differently too. So there's not really a set. There are definitely timeline.
A lot of pediatricians are very good about having these mile markers that when you go to checkups, and you guys are so good with Stevie and appointments, you would be amazing parents. They kind of test for those things as well. So if there are some things that are delayed, they can kind of pick up on it. Yeah. If you're like they're 5 and they're still crawling. Like, well,
yeah. We were with Brian's nieces and nephews this weekend, and his niece asked us, "Are you gonna have kids, Uncle Brian, Uncle Austin?" And we said, "Maybe. Like, do you think we should have kids?" And she said, "Yes, I want more cousins." And then we asked, "How many kids do you think we should have?" And she said, 100.
Yeah.
I said, "No." I said, "I promise you, that is not in the cards."
That's adorable, though. Yeah. 100
children.
Kids.
Not for me.
Yeah. Okay. That was my Friday. You want to talk about yours?
Yeah. So Friday, I went into the office with Brian, which was a fun first for us.
Okay. Both Chad and I looked at that video and we're like, first off, Brian, what do you do every day? What is he doing in there? It's so cool.
Yeah. So he's at Microsoft. Yes. And it was my first time ever going to the campus. He's been there for like 3 years. Yeah. Brian's never invited me to his work. He's been to my work many times.
But also he was like, what if, you know, now that you're engaged, put a ring on it. And right. He's like, okay, I guess
now that I'm on Microsoft Insurance.
Pretty serious. Come on over.
Amazing campus. Very cool.
Stunning.
Have you ever seen videos like Google's campus?
No.
Similar. It's like, they built out, like they were one of the first companies to build this amazing corporate campus to basically incentivize people to stay at work. But so they have like amazing restaurants on campus where all the food's free. Yeah. They have gyms.
It's free?
At Google, not at Microsoft, but at Google. Okay. They have like childcare. They have laundry service. You can like bring in your laundry and they'll do it for you. You can get haircuts. Like you can get car wash. Anything you need. These companies
This is
provide.
Amazing. I'm unaware. Like, this is actually blowing my mind that somebody provides all this.
Every company does a little different. So, like, Google is known for, like, having the most perks for their employees. Yeah. Amazon is, like, known for having some of the least perks. Like, I think they get, like, free bananas on campus, but that's, like, the extent of it.
It's so specific that it's, like, literally one a day.
They have a banana cart, I guess, where you can get free bananas.
That is the funniest thing I've heard.
But yeah, so they're like, and they do it because they're like all about frugality and blah blah blah. But every company kind of has different levels of perks, right?
Yes.
Microsoft campus was beautiful. They have like kind of a main commons area where like it's kind of like the visitor center and stuff. There's like so many different cafes and food courts. Yeah. The restaurant we went to was like
house you went to?
Yeah, we went to like a sit down restaurant where we got like a chicken sandwich and a burger and delicious.
Go to Met Market today and compare.
Oh. Yeah. Microsoft versus Met Market. And then we went, he showed me around. There's like a tree house right next to his building where you can work or have meetings or whatever. Okay. Very cool. We went into like his actual office where there's like a little pod where his desk is at and stuff. And then we went to like the new part of campus, which is where all these like brand new buildings are. And they're like top of the line. Yeah. So nice. Like pulling into the parking garage feels like you're going into like a futuristic city. Like it's so cool. So cool. Yeah. So that was very enjoyable.
Because he's often remote. Yes. And then goes in a couple times a week.
He's going in more recently. I think he's going in like 3 days a week now.
Knowing that's where he's going.
Yeah.
Is is that common? Because I know Amazon just made it where everybody has to go back.
Yep.
Is Microsoft doing a similar thing, or are they still kind of flexible?
I think it kind of depends on your team, and then what you can like opt into different like types of remote work programs. I don't know exactly how it works.
Okay.
I think he's aiming for 3 days a week now.
Okay. Yeah. And seriously, what does he do?
He is his title I think is program manager or product manager.
Okay. Because like if somebody were to say, what does Brian do for a living? Yeah. I would say he goes to companies that is starting a new program and he helps get it kicked off.
His previous job was consulting.
Oh,
that is not his.
That's the problem. That's what I know of his previous job.
His previous job was at Deloitte Consulting. So yeah, he was helping companies with whatever.
Okay.
A lot of different marketing projects and strategy stuff.
Okay.
Current job is at Microsoft, and his job has evolved the last few years, but currently he's doing a lot of work with Copilot, which ChatGPT. Copilot is essentially Microsoft's version of that.
Okay.
And he's doing a lot of internal products with Copilot for Microsoft employees and stuff like that. And I don't
like coding. He does like IT.
He's not a coder, but he manages people, software engineers.
Does he have a team under him? Is he like
he manages a team? I don't know. Brian's gonna maybe get mad at me for disclosing. I don't know.
I'm asking a lot of questions, and yeah,
we should bring Brian on the podcast. But he does have a team he works with in India, and then he has a team here in the U.S. Okay. And I don't know. I think he manages the India team. Maybe I don't know the exact terminology he'd use, but yeah.
You know what you should start doing? You should be like, it's actually so top secret. We're not allowed to really talk about it. Really quick, not to derail the Microsoft conversation. But this morning, I used Google's thing for Gmail, like for emailing.
Yeah, the summary thing.
I polished my email.
Oh, nice.
Oh, my word. I am like, my worry is that these features are deceiving on who is actually communicating. Because I wrote an email just asking a few things, just bad punctuation, just writing like I'm talking.
Yeah.
And I saw this feature that at the end it says polish. And I clicked the button and reorganized, put things. I was like, this is hilarious. I'm going to send it like this. And I guarantee I'm going to get some responses like, who wrote this? Where's Jamie? But it just feels like nowadays we're using these features.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not my voice.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. I had a situation and, I don't want to go into detail about it, but something happened and a few of us parents got a little bit fired up and we were sending some emails to the school to get some clarification. I didn't even think to use ChatGPT. I just wrote what I thought. And then another mom, she wrote something. I was like, oh, dang it. Hers was like so much better than mine. And she was like, oh, I use ChatGPT. And it's still a thing that like, it does not occur to me to use it.
Yeah.
Like it's not like second nature yet where I'm like, oh, before I do that. So it's just interesting how for other people, this is like, we're doing this
totally
all the time.
Well, now that it's built into Gmail, I think it will be more second nature to just use it. Like I was talking to somebody who basically, he said when he writes an email, he just like literally does the bullet points of what he wants to communicate in the email. And then he clicks the button to turn it into an actual email.
Wow.
And then it just types up for him and sends it. And he's like, usually I'll tweak a couple things, but that's my main thing you said about like, it doesn't sound like you.
Yeah.
I care. I feel like I try to communicate a certain tone. So I'm curious if AI will get to the point where it can learn from your past emails. It'd be cool if I could have it scan all my past emails and then have it like replicate that tone within my emails. That'd be cool.
I think if they read my past emails, they'd be like, no.
We're starting fresh here.
You can't sound like that anymore. Wow. Okay. So that was your Friday. Back to your
That was
day
so we were
at
at campus until like 5 or 6.
Did you go the whole day? Were you there like morning?
We went in the afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah, like we worked from home in the morning and then went in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then we got dinner with some friends at a restaurant called Daru in Kirkland, which is we've been before for brunch. We went for dinner for the first time. It was good. It was good.
What's the style? Like American.
They have some Italian.
Nice.
It's kind of like I actually don't know what cuisine it'd be called.
Okay.
It's like a bakery. So they have a lot of like good breads, focaccias and stuff.
Yeah.
The thing that my main qualm was everything tasted a little herby. Like too many herbs. I don't know if you've ever had anything like that, but like we got a salad and a focaccia bread and a pasta, and all three felt very like herb forward.
Heavy on the rosemary.
Yes, maybe too much rosemary, and I like rosemary, but it was like in everything, and I don't know. It was just like I need a break from this flavor for a second.
Speaking of food, have you heard the drama with eggs?
No. What's the egg drama?
Well, apparently there was you guys, first off, just know I don't watch the news. I don't read articles. So anything that sounds like this is real
could be fake news.
Only secondhand like words that I hear from Chad, and most of the time I'm not listening. So, and
sometimes he's hard to understand.
Sometimes I'm like, what? Just text me. But I did see Jessica Vienna's posted like, hey, Trader Joe's is out of eggs. And then I was like, you know, it's weird. I did a Costco order, and the same day they were out of eggs. Like they didn't send me any eggs in my Instacart.
Really?
And so I said, is something going on? Chad said there was a salmonella breakout. And so many factories were impacted by these eggs. But then he said when he went to Trader Joe's for us yesterday, and he's like, all the breakfast items are out, like things that now use eggs in there. And I was like, I didn't even, it's one thing that you can't buy actual eggs at the store, but then to think all the products that use eggs are now limited as well. I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. Yeah.
I wonder if brunch places are struggling right now.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So interesting.
Hopefully they get that figured out.
Yeah.
It's above my pay grade. Okay. Did dinner with friends, and then we went to, I think I've told you about it before. It's called Mox. It's like a game place, board game, restaurant, bar thing. Right. Went there with some other friends and played some games, and then
you left one friend from dinner and said we got to go because we have
no, it wasn't like we were in a rush. Like we did a normal dinner.
You're not invited to second plans.
In the background, Brian had been talking with some other friends about maybe doing games, and so we were like we went home. We did dinner with friends.
Wow.
Went home to Stevie, fed her dinner, and then went back out to the game place.
How late were you out?
Like midnight. It was later night for sure. Later than I prefer.
Is wild. The fact that you had dinner, went home, and chose to leave the house.
Now it
blows my mind.
It was a great time. I'm at the point where I would have been okay staying home. Brian thought I was gonna stay. Brian was surprised that I went back out with him.
Way to be
I rallied.
Way to be like fun. It was Friday night. You should be out till midnight.
Right.
That's the thing.
I know. Usually Friday night we're like we feel lame because we're home at 7 p.m.
I know.
There's something great about it.
Yeah.
That was Friday.
Okay.
It was great. Great Friday.
Okay, Saturday. So the girls that I picked up all stayed the night.
Okay.
Had to be back at the church at 9 a.m. to go to the second day of the retreat. I also had it was called Equip. It was a leadership training at our church.
Nice.
Because I can't say no to things, am now going to lead a Bible study table Wednesday mornings.
Oh my goodness.
And so the gal who does this whole program, she was like, well, there's this leadership training if you want to come on Saturday. I was like, sure. And it was cool. My dad was there, and I had this moment of like I grew up watching my dad lead in the church, and just he has been such a role model for me in that regard. And so I was like, it's pretty cool. I get to come and sit next to my dad, and now I'm learning this stuff. And like Allie's heading off to a leadership camp, for her thing. And so just had a moment of like, I love that this is like generational in our family. And so it was actually so good. I was really blown away by the content that they shared, and so applicable to like business it was like communicating well, healthy habits to have. And I wrote down one of the habits that was kind of my takeaway. They talked about the habit of decision making and how it is really important because making decisions ahead of time.
Okay.
What happens if we throughout the day have a ton of decisions to make in the moment? The quality of those outcomes of our decisions gets less and less.
Okay.
So the idea was you make these big decisions ahead of time as much as you can for your week and for your plans.
Like specific decisions or more like general?
So I think I was thinking of you, and like you do so good about planning ahead. I would say like decisions are also incorporated into like your schedule.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like you make it a point to say like, here's how I'm planning my week. And I'm deciding now on a Sunday what my week is going to, or for you Fridays, right? Don't you plan ahead on Friday? So for you on Fridays, you're planning ahead and you're making that decision in a moment where you have clarity and you have these, whereas I can be a little bit like, let's just see what the day brings. And then all of a sudden the end of the day and I'm like, I'm so exhausted. because I had to think, in the moment for all these different things.
Right.
Some of it's inevitable. Some things are going to come up on a whim and you just have to make that choice.
Yeah.
But the more you can, so even things like I was thinking, my meal plan.
I was just thinking of meals. Yeah.
Like, that's one thing off your plate that you're going to have to be prepared for. So to just not even have to think about it later alleviates that space and then creates more capacity to make quality decisions for other things.
Yeah.
So I just loved that idea. And maybe for me, because I'm just not naturally wired to plan far in advance, that it like really stuck out to me. Like, this is genius. For other people, they're probably like, duh. But I really liked it. And there's a lot of other good takeaways from the whole day. So.
Have you heard the term decision fatigue?
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what they were talking about.
Yeah.
And but I just thought, I think for me, it was like the point that not only, because sometimes I'm like, people, you get so tired of making decisions, you just get stuck.
Yeah.
But the other thing is you start making decisions and then like the lower that quality becomes. Like then I was like, that was what kind of convicted me a little bit, was like, then you start compromising and you're like, oh, well, maybe I just won't do that. Or, I think about just some of my health goals right now. And if I don't plan ahead and make that, like, I'm deciding now, I will do these things on these days. And I'm sticking to that.
Yeah.
Versus waking up and being like, you know what? I think I'm just going to skip today and just stay in bed and not make a plan, Yeah. So anyways.
They talk at all about like questioning decisions.
No, can't say that came up.
That's top of mind with me right now.
How
I had a moment. So we have just back to the wedding stuff for just 1 second. We have our venue that we've like basically decided on.
Yeah.
I'm ready to like move forward.
Right.
Saturday night, I'm just like is this right? Like,
sure.
is this like, should we keep looking? Should we like, am I going to regret this? It checks a lot of our boxes, but it's like not necessarily everything we were looking for.
Okay.
There's a couple things like, we were wanting to be closer to like downtown Palm Springs.
Okay.
It's farther out. And it's like, I was like, or should we consider a hotel where everybody can stay together rather than having a smaller group staying at the place? So I'm like, I started questioning our decision, even though we kind of already made the decision.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I kind of found myself falling into like a little bit of a depression Saturday night. Cause I'm like, what am I like? I felt so confident in this. And then all of a sudden I'm just like questioning everything.
Interesting.
And it was a weird moment. And Brian, I was like trying to talk through with Brian. Yeah. He's like, he had no idea where it came from. And I'm like, I felt like I was like kind of spiraling a little bit. And I think it was just like it felt like a big decision. It feels like a big decision. Yeah. And I think it's something that people probably go through when they're like buying a house.
Totally.
It's like they make the offer, they're past the point of no return, they're beyond inspection. And they're like, is this the right house? Like, should I have kept looking? Like, it's something that, a lot of our clients deal with all the time.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Probably good for me to feel that way in a different perspective.
Well, and so where are you? I mean, is there, if you did find something else, have you paid a deposit?
We haven't yet. So that was Saturday night that I was like spiraling and like, is whatever. And then I'm like, we need to do a couple things for me to like feel good about this decision. So we like, one of the concerns I had was, how are we even going to decide who's staying in the house with us? Because we can only have like 26 people in the house, and we're going to have 120 people at our wedding.
Right.
So we're like, will we even be able to decide on that number of people?
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's try. Let's like make our list of who would stay in the house. And we did. We kind of figured out who would probably stay in the house.
Okay.
So I'm like, we got beyond that. And the other thing with questioning was like, what if there's something way better out there that's cheaper that like is going to fill, check more of our boxes? Like, should we look more? And so I spent like an hour looking for other places just to see if I found anything that looked like it could be better. And like, I didn't. So
okay.
I kind of like the two main concerns I had, I
love that.
Figured them out and I pushed them aside. And now I feel more confident in the decision.
I think that is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, first off, the fact that you were able to like communicate with Brian and say, I'm kind of freaking out, rather than keeping it in and just like moving forward, holding on to that is huge. Second, having those two steps that you're like, if I do X and Y, then it'll help me decide on Z.
Right.
I think that's huge. And figuring out, I think it's hard to sometimes know what those two things could be, but taking those actionable steps to me is like the best thing.
Yeah.
So maybe we should lead a habits thing.
And decision-making framework.
Yeah. So anyway.
Sorry to derail us
I love
there.
that. I love that. So that was most of my Saturday morning. I actually didn't get out of there until closer to 1. And then that afternoon, I took Piper. She had a birthday party with school friends yesterday. And so on Saturday, we went around and finished shopping for like supplies for that.
Okay.
And then Allie got back around 4:30, almost 5, from her retreat. So we picked her up. And by the time we were all home, we were like, we're all vegging out on the couch. Like it was, I had a board meeting Thursday night. Friday, we did trivia. Saturday, I was at this. I just felt like my brain had been used a lot. Like I kept saying to Chad, like, I just feel like physically and emotionally, I feel really, really good. But mentally, I feel drained. Like my brain is just working overtime.
Yeah.
So we just vegged on the couch. My girls have been watching this really awful show called Beast Games. It's with
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Yep.
But have you heard about the reality show he's doing?
I feel like we talked about it last time. Yeah.
Okay, maybe we did. Yeah. It's a little bit like Squid Games-esque.
Yeah.
Like these elimination type of activities. And anyways, it's embarrassing that I'm like staring at the screen. Like so into it. So anyways, that was the rest of Saturday. Just
nice.
Catching up on that.
Love it. Okay, Saturday I had a tough workout in the morning. So the gym that we go to, I've talked about, I love our gym. I love the people at our gym. That's like the main thing. Like I feel like I've never had a gym where I felt like I had so many like friends that when I go to the gym, I just like have a bunch of people to talk to, which is a great feeling. Even like all the instructors, I feel like I'm like good friends with at this point. But they did like I do a lot of classes, and they did a circuit combined class thing where you basically, it was like a 2-hour thing. Ooh. And you sampled 4 different classes for like 20 to 30 minutes each. So you like rotated between these different stations and did all these different classes. And
how cool.
They had like all the coaches involved in it, and they were like in superhero costumes, and
adorable.
They made it super fun. So
what was your favorite?
I'd done all 4 of the classes before. So I think I prefer like the strength based one, like the with the barbells and that kind of stuff. So it's called Alpha Strength.
Was that the day you burned like 1,500 calories?
So that is like the most calories I've burned from a workout ever. I was dying. I was in the sauna afterwards, and I'm like, I am gonna pass out. Like I need to get food in me as soon as possible. So
you're like, I need to get back to Microsoft and grab me one.
Something. But that was Saturday morning, and then we drove. Brian came with me to some showings in Ronald, Washington.
Oh yeah,
you know Ronald?
Yes,
out by Cle Elum.
Yeah.
So Cle Elum, and then Roslyn, and then Ronald's.
Yes,
beyond Roslyn.
Our friends. Gosh, Shannon and Peter, don't get mad at me, but I think that's where their cabin is Ronald.
Cool.
Yeah, they have a family cabin out there.
It was awesome. So beautiful out there. I feel like I have driven through Roslyn, but hadn't really stopped there before.
Oh, I love Roslyn.
Super cute town. Kind of reminds me of like Winthrop, like the old Western town vibe.
Yeah.
Have you been in Winthrop?
No,
okay.
I just said like totally.
Feels similar to Winthrop.
Okay.
It showed 2 houses to Brian's family.
Nice.
And then it went great. We wrote an offer on one.
Exciting.
And then we came on the way back. We stopped at Costco. Always a mistake, but we gotta do what we gotta do. You know.
Has anybody figured out the best time to go?
No. I swear, I thought I usually go on weekends, which is just like horrible. But then I went on like a Tuesday like afternoon. Yeah. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be, and it was the same. That Costco's got it's the Issaquah Costco, which is like the main one, like the headquarter Costco.
It's the OG.
I don't know if it's the OG necessarily, but it's the one right next to their headquarters.
Oh,
so it's one of the largest ones in the world, and they crank. Their parking lot is full every time I'm there. You have to wait for a spot. It's crazy. Brian and I were in a lot agitated actually with how people are so delirious, like, or not delirious. What's the word? When you're just oblivious to their surroundings. Everyone like people are just like cutting across, like cutting you off with your car. It's just like people are all in their own little world. And
wild.
Yeah.
Did you see eggs?
We didn't look for eggs, but I don't know if Costco has quad eggs. But yeah, went to Costco and then came home and kind of chilled the rest of the day. Did some wedding planning. That's when I started spiraling. Sure. And then we watched Silo on the couch.
Oh yeah,
which we have 1 episode left of Silo.
Season 2. Okay.
Yep.
You're liking it.
I wouldn't say that. I'm not in. I'm not in. I'm watching it. I think I've My problem, I think, is it's a show you really have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of other stuff while watching the show.
Yeah.
I really don't know what's going on.
Right.
And I don't feel invested at all in the show.
Yeah.
But I really want to finish it and just get it over with. I've heard the last episode has a twist that is worth watching.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah.
I found myself watching a lot of previews.
Okay.
Not landing on any one thing to watch, but spending almost an hour just looking at previews.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, was semi-satisfied with just that.
Really?
I was like, I kind of wish that was a thing. Like, I wish there was something, because, you know, you have to kind of click through whatever streaming service you're on. I was like, I kind of wish there was something that just showed me little snippets of things. Because I just like
you and Brian, I don't like watching. I like watching a little bit of a preview. I feel like I can tell within like 20 seconds if it's a show I want to watch. I don't need to watch the full preview.
I'll tell you why. It's almost like you just get a summary of the thing. It's like, you know, for me, instead of reading a book, I like to listen to the podcast the author speaks on. I'm like, just as good. So it's like I get a little snippet of the whole thing.
With movies, I don't like that. I don't want, I want to, like, again, I can watch the first 30 seconds of a movie trailer and know if I want to watch it or not. I don't want to, then I stop watching it because I don't want a spoiler from something in the movie.
Chad and I say that all the time. We'll be like, it's
like
we just saw the movie.
I know the ending.
We're like, well, okay.
How was your Sunday?
My Sunday was great. So we got up in the morning and we woke up, started our day by opening our eyes. I did a tonal workout. I've been trying to be a little bit more consistent with this little machine we got. And then we went in the sauna, and we were planning Piper's birthday party that afternoon. So we kind of spent the morning doing some laundry and cleaning and just prepping there. And then, so our church has a service at 9, 10:30, and noon.
Okay.
We usually go to 10:30, which if we do that, mornings can feel a little bit like we get some stuff done, but also we got to get out of the house by some time. We decided to go to the noon service. We had like the whole morning before we were like leaving the house to do anything. And I was like, this is kind of great. I love this hour. After that, we had to drive separate because Chad is on call this week. So he takes his own car wherever we go. So he went, did some grocery shopping for us. I took Piper. We were grabbing the last minute things for her party and donuts. That was, again, her dessert. And then went home and finished setting everything up. And then she had a bunch of school friends come over around 4, and we had a winter pool party is what we did for her birthday. So
winter pool party.
This is the thing. This child, on her actual birthday, we celebrated with my family and Denise and her girls. Got to have a sleepover then. That following Monday, we went and did dinner with Shannon's family and Kelly's family and their kids. We had the pool party last night. Today, your mom is taking Easton and Pipes for a birthday celebration, if Easton's still up for it. And then on Friday this week, her classroom is hosting all the January birthday parties. Wow. So again, I'm like,
she is very celebrated.
So over this.
That's setting the standard pretty high.
Okay. But yeah, it was really sweet. The girls, they had a blast hanging out at the house. I was a little bit like, ugh. Pipes wanted to do facials. She does this thing. She loves this like skincare routine, and she loves to give facials to myself and Chad.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. It's an amazing experience. She like sets the room. She puts on her little diffuser that like has a scented oil come through. Awesome. She puts calming music on. She has all these different products. I'm like, I don't know what's going on my face, but, and then she has like the cold rollers.
Wow.
It's very enjoyable.
Yeah.
But she wanted her friends to experience this. And I was like, I just don't feel like we have time to give 10 individual facials. Oh, wow. But, so that kind of derailed some of the plans at the beginning. And then I was like, okay, we've got to swim, we've got pizza, we've got dessert, all this stuff. So the last hour and a half was a little bit rushed, but it was great. The girls seemed to have a blast.
She gave all the facials.
She did. I don't think she got everybody done. Okay. I think they were trying, and she had a friend helping, so there was like 2 at a time. But then and then I felt bad because I'm like, you and this friend are like spending an hour setting this up, and these other girls are just like sitting. I don't know. I'm like, this is weird. Anyways, leave it to 10-year-olds party plan. But and then it was kind of fun. Some of the parents that came to pick up their kids ended up staying and hanging out, and we had like a glass of wine and caught up. And one mom I hadn't seen. Our kids were in class together a couple of years ago, and we would see each other all the time, and I just hadn't seen her in a while. So it's just fun to catch up with people. And I think everybody was gone by like 8:39, and then we were like peace out.
Yeah, get out of my house.
I gotta go. Chad's got to work tomorrow. I'm like, yeah. So that was our
That's
Sunday.
late to have people at your house on a Sunday.
It felt a little bit like pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
Like I just socially was like, you know what? I could, close my eyes.
It's a busy weekend. Yeah, that's a lot. All good stuff.
Yes, totally. Yeah.
I know you have a meeting starting 1 minute ago, so I'll be quick with my Sunday.
It's with Eric. He's fine.
Oh, Eric. Okay,
He's
let's make him
flexible.
wait a little bit.
Yeah. Keep him on his toes.
Sunday I did my first Ironman training run, which was nice. I haven't ran in forever.
Okay.
And I'm like, I'm doing a full Ironman in about 9 months.
Yeah.
I got to start getting my butt into gear.
Yeah. Okay.
So I did my first run in a while.
Yeah.
Felt okay about it.
Good.
And then came home and we were home the rest of the day, which was nice.
Lovely.
Did a lot of house stuff, did laundry, cleaned, like purged our fridge, threw away some old eggs, other stuff.
It might have wanted to hang on to those actually.
Yeah. Good little house reset
Love
after the
that.
weekend, and then wrote the offer, did some work, did some like travel planning, wedding planning, just got some stuff done. And,
yeah. Do we have a trip planned for February?
We just booked a trip to Palm Springs for the first or second week of February.
Oh,
so
that's like next week.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's a very last minute. So Brian's friend, who we stayed at his house before when we were down there, the parents need somebody to dog sit for them because they're going somewhere else.
Volunteer.
So we are going with Michael and Feb again, and so we have a free place stay and a free car, and so it's
ideal,
kind of a no-brainer.
Awesome.
And we'll visit the venue again now that we have it like figured out. We'll do another walkthrough and do some just like start getting some more details.
That'll be really nice. Yeah. Cool.
That was the weekend.
Well done.
Thanks, Jamie.
I like it. Short and sweet. Under an hour.
Short and sweet?
I think so.
46. All right. Thanks for hanging around.
Episode 51.
52.
52.
52. 52 cards to pick up.
Yeah.
Remember at the beginning of this podcast, we'd like every episode, like if it was like 21, it's like, oh, it's now we can drink.
52 card pickups. Perfect.
52 card pickup.
I like it.
See ya.
Bye.